Night. I'm trying to get another co-host in to join me. Those in the back with the noise going on in the back, can you mute your phones, please? Thank you. A lot has been going on lately here in Alabama. As everybody knows, summer's about to creep on us. So down here in the southeast, we're gonna get a really high dosage of liquid oxygen. Liquid oxygen is what you breathe when you're covered by trees. Oxygen is what you breathe when you're living by the sea or you're living in a city that is not surrounded by trees and the moisture that comes from the environment. So it's about to get real hot and the air is going to get real thick. So I hope everybody enjoys it. Today we're going to talk about a subject that is very taboo with so-called African Americans. Actually, anything that doesn't toe the party line is taboo to the African American. But this is a subject that's going to be really taboo because normally when we hear stuff or we see people doing things that we never experienced or we don't know anything about, we're quick to cast judgment. Those good old Christians show not to hook us up, huh? So tonight we're going to talk to a couple. I can't say couple. A triple, a quadruple, a quintuple, a sextuple, whatever. This is an alternative lifestyle that is gaining very, very broad support among indigenous people. And we have people here in the United States that engage or practice polygamy. We're going to talk about it, what it's about. Please give us a call at area code 256-849-2227. Share your thoughts. Make them intelligent thoughts. If it's something that you don't believe in, listen to what the people do. Listen to how their experiences. It's a lot of things that I haven't experienced that other people do experience. That don't make them less than me or ugly or fucked up or anything like that. The culture that we live in America is tripped out. It harms a lot of people with the ideologies that are going on with how Americans live their lives. So it's a lot of stuff. I don't think that a dude should beat his wife. Some people are cool with that. I don't think dudes should be having sex with their daughters. Some people are cool with that. I'm not. But what other people do, they have to live with that. And I just like to live my life my way, and my job is to help people in any way I can and not to harm them. So we're going to get into polygamy tonight. We got a brother, Miko, joining us with his 2 wives, and they're going to tell us about the polygamous lifestyle. But before we get into that, there's 2 things I want to share with you. If you go to the African American Ain't African page on Facebook, there's 2 posts. One was posted this morning by Chief Langley, and it shows this tribe. You have to see the video where they do something called man hunting, where the young females in the group, they chase certain males to, I don't know if it's a fertility ritual or whatever, but it looked fun. Where all these guys had the women in the group in the village were chasing them, trying to get them to impregnate them, whatever. I don't know what the ritual is, but check it out. It's on African Americans Ain't African Facebook. The second video was really disturbing. The second video is of this sister. When the video starts, she's looking crazed out, but then she proceeds to beat her face against the camera really bad. If you don't have a strong stomach, I wouldn't suggest you watch it. The reason I posted, I wasn't going to post it, but I wanted people to understand how when we live in other people's culture and other people's lifestyles and we don't fit into that, these are the things that can happen. I don't know what was wrong with the sister. I mean, we could talk about that for 6 weeks, but check it out and make your own conclusion and come to your own conclusion of what's up with this sister. Why would she do that to herself? Now, polygamy. Brother Miko, how you doing? Brother Miko, you there?
Oh yeah, I'm here, brother.
Oh, good, brother. How you doing tonight?
I'm all right. How you doing?
Oh man, everything is well, 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 well. Polygamy, huh?
Yes, sir.
Well, look, man. I want you to go ahead and explain who you are, what you do, and what you about, and you know, give it to us. Give it to us straight, no chaser. Like you was talking to a 5-year-old. Are your wives there with you now?
Yeah, they here.
Hi, ladies. How you guys doing tonight?
We're doing fine.
Thank you for joining us, man. Give it to us, man.
Okay. All right. Basically, it's let me go back. Well, it's like this. It's been this life we live in America is no good for any of us. We all see that. Well, if you got a little sense, you see that. You might need a little help. But the way I came to this conclusion, I've done a lot of research and I've tried a lot of different things. It works perfect for me and for us. But how? Okay, if you look at it like this, how can someone? Okay, I heard a lot of people say this is illegal or it's not right. Then how can somebody else tell you how you're supposed to live? If all men are created equal, don't the man have a right to make his own choice? So
Yes, you're right.
right. So if how can and then you can go deeper than that. If we live in if people for the people that think they from Africa or the people that know they from here, you know the European is not from here or Africa. How is he dictating how we live our lives? How can he say what's illegal for us? How can he say what's right or wrong for us?
So
We have to be lost and crazy to listen to what he tells us what's right for us.
I totally agree. So what you're saying basically is that the way we're living now, we're living our lives vicariously through them.
Right. We are trying to be them. I understand the situation where we went through. We went through the whole annihilation and, raping and, they tried to wipe us out. And then the ones that were left, we were brainwashed and trained crazy. I understand that. But something inside of you is telling you a lot of things you're doing is not right. You're not comfortable with what you're doing. It's just like going to work. Like they always say, color people time. They always talk about we late because that's not in our nature to get up and force yourself up and punch a clock. And we like to do things smoothly, and yet they got us doing stuff out of our nature. So it's the same thing. And so it's like, okay, me as a man, myself, I know what I need and I know what I want. Okay, I'm just giving it like this. For me to have more than one wife, I go out in the world and I work hard, get stressed, and I come home. If my wife is, say the time of the month, or you know how women get some kind of mood swing. If she's in one of her moods or that time of the month, she's not able to help bring me back into order, what am I going to do the next day when I have to go to work? So when she's in one of her slumps or her different zones, okay, my other wife is there. She's not. They're not in the slump at the same time. So I always have somebody to uplift me to send me back out in the world at 100%.
Now that's what I want to talk about. That's why I played the song, my latest, my greatest inspiration. And you just hit on it because we all need to be inspired. Because like you say, you go out there working wherever you work. I know it's a grind helping somebody build their empire.
Right.
And it leaves you not just physically but psychologically, spiritually at a loss because we know we're supposed to be building our own, and that seems to be what you're doing. So what you're saying is you when you come home from that, you always have somebody there to lift you up because you're right. Not only do females go through slumps, males go through slumps too. You in a slump when you come home and you drained and you don't have nothing to give to the family, but then you have somebody else there to inspire you. Talk on that.
Right. And other point of that, even if before I come home, if one of my wives are in a slump, the other one is there to pick her up. So when I do come home, they're both in the right order. So it's a win-win for everybody. They pick each other up and help each other do different I don't want to call them rituals, but different little meditations and get on the herbal teas and calm each other down and get each other in the right zone. So they're always perfect for me when I come home.
Okay, check this out. So, with us, I have a sister, and my sister, when we were putting the show together last week, my sister was in the back. Hell no! And I was constantly saying, well, how can you say that and it's something that you never experienced? And I know it's with the African American. Every time we hear something different, the first thing we do is react like we trying to fight off a bear or something.
Right.
So with everything, because as I'm promoting this show and I'm letting people know, all the females are saying, hell no, I ain't sharing my man with nobody. The first thing they talk about is sex. That's the first thing. Nothing about what you said, what you just said. Nothing about how 3 heads are better than 2 or 6 eyes are better than 4. None of that. Nothing that's positive about it. Is always negative and is always tearing down. So on the sex part, what would you say to the people to be like, whatever hatred they have towards that? What would you be your word? What would your words be to them?
Okay. On that, I need these ladies to get in with your lower self. You need to get into research.
Yeah, man, you breaking up.
Can you hear me a little better now?
I can hear you better now.
Okay. I would say to them, what you need to do is start researching yourself. Learn about your mind, your body, your spirit, everything like that, and learn about your lower self and your higher self. All that stuff, like, oh, hell no. I mean, that's all lower self, jealousy, envy, selfishness talk. When you start thinking with your higher self, you start thinking of a whole for everybody, the benefits of everything. What I would say, this too also, they're talking about this on the 16th, my man, but you're sharing them anyway. 98% of the men out there cheat. So they lying to you and they going out and cheating anyway. You think you got him until you get 2 years down the road, you find he got a child somewhere else, or you got heartbroken because somebody done told this on with him. So, I mean, with this other girl over here, sometimes it is a him, you know, with the way it's going these days. But all that is some lower self-talk. You need to get into a little research and study yourself, learn yourself. Because right now, all we know is a European mindset. Everything we know is European. That's not us. That's why everything we do is in conflict with nature. That's why we so backwards and lost and at the bottom of everything.
Let me ask you this: Do I guess that since we're following a European dictate, and one of the and how their culture is set up, one is me, the individual. I'm looking out for myself. It's not of a group mind. It's not of a I got mine, get yours. So what you're saying is the polygamy way is a way where the more people, the merrier.
Exactly. Everybody wants. Okay, it's just like, okay, but with my wife, the philosophy is I want for my sister what I want for myself. So if their sister's happy, they're happy. It's not about me. It's about us. And that's the whole team philosophy.
So that's it. That I see the problem right there. We're a very selfish bunch, aren't we?
Exactly.
The African American is I mean, brother, I'm talking about, I can't believe it sometimes. But that may be one of the blocks to it. So I'm glad you brought that up. 256-849-2227, African Americans Ain't African Radio. Please visit our website at africanamericanain'tafrican.org. Please help us out. Donate to us. We're trying to get this information out there and trying to get our people to think, y'all. Because just like this brother's saying, all we know is massa and whatever he say. So please donate us, help us grow. And I really want to thank the ones who've been with me thus far. Thank you, because the show has been a hit. People are loving it. Miko, how do you communicate? How do you and your wives communicate?
Well, we are our whole philosophy is teamwork and together. So we have like a round table discussion about everything. It's no secret. There's no like, I'm in this room talking to his wife behind this wife's back or this. No, we all communicate together. I mean, we have our private, intimate conversations, but it's not about anything that's outside of the realm of what we all know about. So we communicate openly. We discuss things, how we're going to grow together. You know, it's like we are a mastermind group. The more heads, the more. Okay, it's like this. If you put a group of people in one room, say 10 people, and you make one point to that group, all 10 people would probably see that point in different lights, and they can all expound on what they heard and what they think it means. So now you got 10 different views of one thing instead of just your own personal view. So now you can grow. Okay, so I never saw it that way. You know, you're gonna be a lot of people say, "Oh man, I didn't even see it like that." So the more people you have on any subject, the more intelligent you can make decisions on that subject.
Oh, okay. 256-849-2227. We have a few callers on the line. Any callers have any questions at this time? Well, cool. We're going to keep it Oh, go ahead.
This is Twine. So I tip my hat to my brother and his wife. He did only in being a man.
Chief Langley, you coming in real twisted, man.
I said I tip my hat to him and his wives for being open and honest and working together in harmony. So I tip my hat to them. And what the world needs to understand and people need to understand, stop getting on the boat of other people's situations. It doesn't apply to you. He's cool with it. His wife's cool with it. Then let it be. From my own perspective, I don't have the strength to deal with two women. So my choice is just one. But I commend him, honest, and being a man that okay, if I'm going to go out and get another woman, I'm going to let my woman know about it, and we're going to sit down and talk about it. And if she agree, we're going to make he doesn't have to run around the corner sneaking, texting on his cell phone, because he's handling his business. Most men should do what he's doing. So I commend him on that.
Thank you, Chief Langley. Thank you for you. Anybody else?
Yeah, I'd like to, how you doing, Buck? It's Dr. Mumbo Jumbo.
What's going on, brother?
Hey, you know, a while back I was doing a lot of relationship mumbo jumbo, and I'd just like to also commend this group, polygamous group, for being honest and working hard. And when I was researching for a show I was on, I was surprised that out of like the maybe 900 or so countries that are listed with the UN, there's only like maybe 80 or 90 of them that don't have some form of polygamous marriage on their books legally. And so what we think of in the U.S. as the norm isn't really the norm in the rest of the world. So most of the world has multiple spousal relationships or marriages and things like that. And this monogamy being learned or natural, you know, there's sort of something called social monogamy, sexual monogamy, and genetic monogamy. And in nature, you're going to find that social monogamy is learned. You're going to find that sexual monogamy is rare. And even some of the animals and some of the birds that they used to think made it for life, they found out with further research and with better ability to track that most of those that they said made it for life don't really make for life.
Mumbo Jumbo, did you have a question? Did you have a question?
Nope.
I want to get.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. I want to get back to the guest because he has a lot of nice stuff to share. Miko, you have your wives there with you.
Right.
I'd like to hear their views on it. You know, what do they think about it?
Okay.
Good evening, everyone. This is Naja.
Hey, Naja. So with the polygamous relationship, Naja, and if there's any females on the phone that probably can ask some questions to a female that would be advantageous to everybody, please feel free to do so. But Naja, I just want to ask you, being in a polygamous relationship, how has it helped you grow, and what has it done for you as a female?
Well, first of all, the lifestyle is so fulfilling to me that it's difficult to find one place to start. When I first met my husband, Nico, just right off the bat of talking to him, I knew that he had the strength that I needed in a man where I could be free. Okay, before I got married to Nico, I was a single mother, and we all know that that's a whole nother chapter to being a so-called African American woman. And him wanting to give me the freedom and the space to be and do what I was put on this earth to do is the main reason why I think that a polygamous marriage works for me. I mean, not that I think, I definitely know that's why it works for me, but for other females out there, they want to consider that a man who is interested in being polygamous, not because of the sex, but because of the unity, because of the teamwork that it builds in the family and the nation building, all of those other things that come with it, should consider that they no longer will have to be the man and the woman in their family. They no longer will have to shoulder all of the responsibilities of an entire village on their own. And also, my sister Daphne, who is already in the family, she raises the other children and homeschools them on her own. Now I can be there for her as well, because being I don't want to call her a housewife. She's much more than that, but her work is in the home before I got there. And she needs that extra support also so that she can fulfill her destiny.
Now, Naja, let me ask you this. One of the things that in the African American community, especially with this reality TV that's going on, all we see is sisters cussing each other out, loud talking. I'm talking about in the mainstream. I know this isn't going on all over America in every single house, but the image that's projected out there is sisters are loud, crazy, they can't stand each other. My wig is blonde, my lace front is green, I don't like you, your pumps are whatever. The relationship that you seem to be that you're talking about seems to quell all of that nonsense.
Well, me and my sister are absolutely nothing like that. We are 100% natural in everything that we do, from the way we wear our hair, to the way that we dress, to the food that we eat, to the music we listen to the way that we design our homes, the way we work our garden, the way we raise our children, 100% natural. So without all of those artificial things on the side, that's outside of the personality. That's the ego. We don't have that ego attached to us. We're not any false personality. And so with all of those things stripped bare, our basic concern is developing our own selves. Like my husband talked about, we're not on the low vibration at all. We're on a higher vibration because we're separated ourselves from those things. That's not to say that we want nothing to do with society. It's just that we're not into material things.
So Naja, if you, oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, I could care less what latest hottest song is on the radio because my family unit has something going on that's 100 times stronger.
So when you look out into the mainstream, from your vantage point, what are you looking at?
I'm looking at people wearing costumes, shows of people. Like I see my sisters out there, and I don't like weaves. I have something huge against weaves because to me it's like the way you would see those old English judges on the bench with those white roll wigs on. That's not us. My sister out there, I know that she has some lovely, luxurious hair up under that, rat tail that she has on top of her head. And I think that we're so far removed from what we could be. It's so much more beautiful. Honestly, I go to the supermarket and I see a sister who I feel like she's struggling with herself, with her identity. I just have a very strong intuition and, receptiveness towards people. And I would want so much to tell her about my life, and to tell her that she can be herself. She can let all of those things go. You're not a European, but, it's not easy to sit down and talk to a stranger and tell them, thousands of years of history of what they don't know, especially since they're brainwashed to think that they should be like Mimi Yon, housewives or whatever.
Okay, Naja. Well, thank you. We're gonna get back to you in a little later on in the show. Is the other wife there?
Yes, I'm here.
Hey, how you doing? What's your name?
Daphne.
Daphne. Thank you for joining us. How did Miko approach you about, or how was that approach made uh, so a man saying, okay, I want to have another wife, or I want to bring another member to the family. How was that done?
Well, he just mentioned about different people, different polygamous relationships, and he was like, he wanted us to do that, and that would help us out. Told me all the advantages of it, and so we talked about it a while because I really didn't understand it, and so after doing a little research on it and looking at the advantages of it, I agreed to do it.
Okay, so what kind of flack did you get from your family? So what your mom say? What your sister say? Your aunts? What? How did they feel about the situation, or how do they feel about the situation?
Well, they're not really for it. My mom, she was like, well, I don't think you should do it, and my sisters, all of them, they were just saying that I should not do it, and just like women think that the men in polygamous relationships think that the men are using the women, and but I explained all the benefits of it to them that I would get out of it, and they still don't understand it, and they're still against it, but they don't have to live this life. This is what I chose to do, and they can just do what they do.
So what are the benefits of it for you?
Well, for me, it takes a lot of stress and strain off me as far as being a stay-at-home mom and homeschooling. It helps out with the homeschooling, with all the duties that I have to do at home, the cleaning, cooking. Some days, Naj will cook. Some days I will cook. Some days we'll both cook. As far as homeschooling, I have 4 children at home, and they're all different ages, 4 different ages, and she has 2. And so the benefit with my oldest son is that he's like wants to learn more. Like his Non's daughter is like a year older than my son, and so that encourages him as far as learning is concerned. He encourages him to learn faster, to learn more, and so that's a benefit with the children. But it just helps out all around with the gardening and herbs and everything that we're trying to learn and trying to do. It frees me up some days where I have some me time and I can sit down and read some books or research stuff on the internet while she takes care of the children. And,
so let me get this straight. What you're saying is that 3 people raising 6 children is better than 1 person raising 6 children. Is that what you're telling me? 3 people raising 6 children is better than 1 person raising 6 children.
Yes, it is. It is because we have all different ways of dealing with the children, and it helps out because if I'm stressed, then Naz can take over, and that will give me a break. It will free me up so I can relax and get my stress level down. Or if she's stressed out, then I can take the children and give her some time to calm down. So it's so much better with more parents raising the children than just one.
Well, so what do the children? What are the children's roles in this, and what do they say about it? What do they look at it as? Because that's another thing. Because the way you're talking about raising the children, that seems like such a simple idea. Like you say, it's not stressful on anybody. It's a support. And I think what you are doing, you guys are in the fringes of you. You know how we always talk about unity.
Yes.
We're so individualistic. I don't really think we want unity, but to see you guys actually doing it, my hat's off. What would you? Well, how is it? The children. What do the children think of it, or how is it good for them, or how is that going?
Okay, right now they really don't understand. Like they call Nas auntie and mine and her call me auntie. They really don't understand the lifestyle at this time because of their age. But that gives them, with her children, it gives them more children to play with because we don't let them play with just anybody. Because our children, the way we eat, they're not like aggressive like other children are. They eat all kind of stuff. They don't have all the so-called ADHD symptoms and stuff. We don't get the sugar, and so that with all the children together, it's an advantage because it gives them more children to play with. And like I said earlier, it's with Nas' oldest daughter and my oldest son. With the learning, it encourages him to learn more. So that's how it's an advantage for the children.
Daphne, thank you. We're gonna come back to you a little later on in the show. I want to get back to Miko. Brother, what kind of environment or lifestyle? What are you trying to create?
Okay. Before that, let me say this. Now, let me ask you this: how these two beautiful women in my life?
Miko, you breaking up, brother?
Oh man.
No, you go just yes.
Okay. I want to ask you this question first. With listening to these two beautiful women, can you see how wonderful my life is?
Yeah, I no complaints, and the point, and this is why. This is from my point of view. It's you can tell by the way you guys are talking that it's helpful. It's helpful to everyone. Everybody involved. Like the sister was saying, we don't play with all other kids because they might get them hooked to the ice cream truck. I see what's going on. You're talking about homeschooling. Schools don't teach us anything, and this is what I mean. By the time we get out of high school, most of us are idiots.
Oh, yeah.
You would think by now that we would know that and do something different like what you're doing. That's a way. So what you're doing is you're showing that there's different ways to live in this madness that we live in. Because I'm surprised schools are still standing.
Right. Okay. Let me tell you. This is why they're still standing. Because everybody. This is one main key. We're all in a monogamous relationship. Majority of us, right?
Right.
So in this society, the cost of living is high. So the mother has to work. If it's two parents in the household, they both have to work. So what can you do? What send your children to school? Because you need a babysitter. So you have to send them to school. So they get that indoctrination, and you have no choice because you have to survive. Let me tell you what was the main key for me bringing my children out of school. My son was in kindergarten, and he came home singing a song talking about some George Washington was a wonderful man. And I was like, whoa, what the hell? What did he just say? And then he started talking about my heroes is Abraham Lincoln. I'm like, wait, I said, this? Oh, no. I said, ain't nowhere in the world. Then they were celebrating Christmas and Valentine's Day, and I was like, ain't nowhere in the world my children's going to go through this stuff right here, man, and get all this crazy stuff in their mind. But we had to get them out of there. And, we might. Okay, go ahead.
I see exactly where you're coming from. I'm understanding it, but again, like you say, you coming from your higher self instead of your lower self. So what are you trying to create there, Miko? What kind of environment are you trying to create?
Well, it's not really create, it's recreate. I'm learning my history, going back in the past before these Europeans came over here, and I'm trying to bring back what my ancestors already had. So it's not creating. I can't take the credit for that. It's recreating. I'm going back and I'm putting myself back on the map as a man and put my family back on the map as a tribe. And we just, we're gonna stand on our own, and we're gonna be who we used to be, who we supposed to be. So basically, we're getting away from all this stuff we were taught in the past 300 years or whatever, and we're getting rid of all that. Ain't no religion and stuff. Ain't no, all that stuff is gone. We start from scratch. We learning who we were, and we putting that into our minds and into our children's minds, so we can be who we're supposed to be.
Earlier you were talking about building a family, community, and nation. Could you hit on that, please?
Okay, yes, sir. In order to have a strong nation, you must have a strong community. In order to have a strong community, you must have a strong family. Now, if you got both parents have to go out and work, you don't have a strong family because who's raising that child? Somebody got to raise that child. The school gonna do their part. When they come home, the TV gonna do the other part. So you're not raising that child, so the next generation can't be strong. So that's breaking the family up right there. So somebody has to stay home. So I made the sacrifice that my wife, they don't have to work. They stay home and raise our family so they can have the right, our children can be raised right and know who they are, and, you know, so that we can grow as of who we are and stop being, you know, into this European lifestyle. So our family is going to be concrete. We solid. We straight. So we got to get other people to do the same in their, okay, man, you got to go to work. Well, I always do it. Let your wife stay home and raise those children. Okay? Get you another wife. You know what I'm saying? If you get to this for example, I have 2 wives. And now I actually, it's another female I was speaking with that's, you know, potential wife. Okay, I'm going to give you a number just to make it even. I'm going to give you 4 wives. Let's say you have 4 wives. 2 wives can stay at home, and you and the other 2 wives can go out to work. That's 3 incomes you bring into one home. You know, everybody's going to be well taken care of. So it's financially easier. It's less stress. You know, it's a wonderful thing if people sit back and look at the simplicity of it. You know, how it works for everybody.
Naja, what are the people outside of these kind of relationships? What are they failing to understand?
They're failing to understand that generally I think it's not about sex. You know, when you hear a man who already has 2 wives say that he's looking for another wife, they might be thinking, dang, why he need another wife? He already got, you know, 2. That's just being greedy, or, you know, he just can't get enough. It's just not about sex. It's about fulfilling your passions, you know, having space and time for yourself, being a part of a unit of people who support your ups and your downs.
Daphne, okay, thanks. I'm blown away, y'all. Daphne, I'm serious. Because the main thing that's talked about that, you know, in this type of situation, that I think the most important things are the kids. And it's like Miko was saying earlier, you know, you got 2 wives at home taking care of the kids and raising the kids and teaching the kids a program that the group came up with that's going to make the kids. Brother, I see what you're doing. But Daphne, I want to ask you, what would you want us to know about a multiple wife relationship that we think we know? What would you say to us? You know, because like Naja said, we're looking at it from a point of ignorance. We don't know nothing about it, but we think we do. What would you say to those of us who think we know something but don't? What would you leave us with? What would you tell us?
Well,
Let me give you an example. I have a twin sister, and we are 180 degrees from each other. On this show, she would bring fire and brimstone. I just ain't doing it. What would you say to her to make her go? Just not to change her mind, but what would you say to her to calm her down?
well, first,
As you're thinking about that, let's do a station break. Area code 256-849-2227. African Americans ain't African. Tonight we're talking about polygamy. If anybody have any questions about what this family is saying, please ask, because it looks like a win-win situation for everybody involved. So after Daphne asks this question, I'm going to go to the callers. If you have any questions on something you heard or something you want to add or something you want to bring or something that you think, please do so. Daphne.
yes.
What you think?
Can I let Nico answer that question?
Of course.
I got you. Okay, can you hear me, Kerry?
I can hear you fine.
Okay, it's like this. I would tell her that, okay, this is all about science and research. You got to know yourself to know people, all right? There's 8 different people in the world. If you put all the billions of people in the world in different groups, there's only 8 different groups. There's 8 mindsets is what I'm saying. Out of all the people in the world, they will fit in one of those mindsets. Every mindset is not going to get it. That's why we are taking advantage of it right now, because you have people at the top, you have people at the bottom. The people at the top get it, and they're doing it, and they're keeping the secret from the people at the bottom. If they tell everybody the secret, some of us will come out because they get it, but others will want to stay down there because they just don't get it. So I would say this: it's not for everybody because everybody will not get it, but the ones that will get it, just like this, like it's like your show right now. It's just like right now, African Americans ain't African. You got people that are not African, but they will argue down that they are, but because they don't even know. They're just going by what they heard. No research involved. No, they don't know who they are, but they will argue down that they are African. They came on slave ship, and they don't even know nothing about it. So it's the same thing. This lifestyle is not for everybody because everybody will not get it because their mindset would not let them get it. So that's all I would say to about this.
Okay, the phone lines are full. I mean, ladies on the line, anybody have something they want to add about what you've heard thus far?
I have a question for Mr. Miko.
Yes, sir.
Yes, are you the main breadwinner, or is there other form of income, or maybe some government assistance that come in to the family?
Okay, no, ain't no government assistance. I'm the government, but this is my philosophy. I want a slave so my family can be free. So I go out and do what I have to do. I work, 16 hours a day sometimes, just so my family can be free and do what it is they want to do. And when I say what they want to do, is my wives are creating different businesses that they are operating. It's in the beginning stages now, but their goal is this. Their goal is to get these businesses off the ground and start making enough money where I can stop working outside of the family and I can come bring my energy into the family businesses, and then we can keep it moving like that. But somebody has to make the sacrifice, because if we all just go out and work and make checks and send our children to school, yeah, we have a little bank account, but our children lose and we lose. So I'm going to go out and sacrifice and let them stay home and do what they have to do to get these businesses off the ground, and then I finance those businesses with my paycheck that I make every week. And then once they take off, then they can start financing themselves. Then they can keep making more money. Then they can bring me off of my job into the family business.
That it, caller? Caller, you had another question? I'm sorry. Compared to the way this family is living, to most of American families, Negro Americans, African American families, this sounds like a win-win situation. Any other callers on the line have anything they want to bring?
Yes, can I say something?
Yes.
Hi. I just want to say that if I had two or three mothers, and the father and the mothers of his wives, the teachings about their heritage, growing food, reading, writing, math, art, craft, keeping suicidal thoughts and influences out of my childhood, I see very strong children by the time they're 18 years old. They would be fully self-sufficient and productive.
So basically what you're saying, like the brother was saying, that he out there working every day so the ladies can create and come up with businesses. And this is the cold, and this why it's not a win-win situation. It's a win-win-win situation, because those businesses that they create, they're going to train the children to run those businesses. And you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
It's so. As a female, ma'am, what do you think about what's being said?
I think it's a wonderful idea, and I wish them all the luck. I'm listening to the wives, the females, and the gentleman here, and I really hear it in them, and I see that they're making it happen. Like he said, probably the beginning stages, but let's check back within 2 years, and I bet you they're going to have something set forth in place that a lot of people really think about.
Well, we're definitely going to have them back a little bit down the line, so that's a definite. Any other caller have anything they want to add?
I have a question for the lady that just made the comment. Would she engage in a polygamy relationship?
You know, it's if I was protected, if I did not have to go outside the home to work, if my husband provided me with protection, if perhaps I could think, I'll think, I could see doing it. It's not something that I would definitely say, oh, hell no, I'm not going to do it.
Thank you. That's a cool answer. Miko, go ahead.
Oh, yeah, I just want to say this before you went to another question about what she said about checking in like 2 years down the road. I wanted to say what makes this thing work. I left this out earlier. Okay, when a man trying to find a different wife or another wife, or however you want to say it, you can't just find any kind of woman that's, oh, yeah, I'll do it, but everything has to mesh. Y'all have to be on the same mental plane. You have to want the same things, and you have to, on a mental level and spiritual level, you have to be the same people. You have to just, because I've talked to different women before, but they just weren't on my mental level or our mental level, so it just would not work, and I know that. So you can't choose a wife or a woman. A woman can't choose a husband for just for physical reasons or just for financial reasons. It has to have that mental connection and that spiritual connection. Y'all have to be the same being mentally and spiritually, and it will work forever. That's where our longevity will come from.
Miko, what would you say about, we hear a polygamy, and I want to get your wife's answer on this one too. We talk about a polygamy relationship, but when this is brought up to females, one of the things that they always say, I don't know if they mean it or not, I don't know if it's a reaction call or not, but a lot of times what the people who are against this type of relationship will say, well, can the woman have two husbands too? Can she have more than one husband? And the way it's said, it's not said really meant to, they're not really trying to get more information or look out what's happening with this relationship. They're more doing it like being smart about it. Well, can we have two husbands too? Knowing that's not what they really want. What would you say to that, to a woman who wants to have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 husbands?
Okay. The first thing is that response is an emotional response. That's what's wrong with our women today. We got these European emotions, this jealousy and envy and selfishness inbred in our women so strong that they say stuff like that without even thinking. And like I say, everything I do is science backed. I study and research everything. Okay, and this is a fact. A man's semen is his brain fluid. Okay, the brain fluid is what builds the semen, the base of the semen. So when a man ejaculates into a woman, her womb is designed to absorb that brain fluid from the semen, and it's a circle that the man and woman makes. It goes from his brain to his going through her womb to her brain. And so if a woman would have more than one man ejaculating inside of her, she would be absorbing the DNA from different men, and her body would not know how to react to that, and she would become crazy, literally. She would be having the essence of 2 or 3 different men, however many husbands she wanted, and she would not know who she would be. That's right. That's how women and men, when women and men are together so long, the woman can answer the man's question before he even finishes. She can finish his statements. After so many years, they start to look alike because she's taking on his essence through his semen. She's becoming him. That's the whole term of we are one, because I give you me, and then you take it and enhance it, and you give it back to me in the form of a child. But that's how they become one. It's science. Your bodies are made to correlate like that.
Wow, African Americans Ain't African. We're with Miko, his wives Naja and Daphne, and we're talking about polygamy relationships. I can say, after having this conversation, I look at polygamy in a whole different way. We got about 5 more minutes to go for the show. Do we have any other callers that have anything they want to add? Miko, if somebody wanted to be in this type of relationship, what would you suggest?
Okay, you mean from speaking to another male that wanted to pursue this?
A male or female?
Okay. The first thing I would tell them is don't do it. Okay, we got to stop. Okay, the first thing we have to do as a people is stop being in these relationships by physical attraction only. That's our downfall. That's why we can't stay together, because from a man's point of view, when a man sees a woman that he's attracted to, okay, the first thing in his mind, man, I sure want to have sex with her. So once you get that sex, once you're used to that sex, now you want to move on to the next, because that's all that was there. So once that sexual attraction is fulfilled, then you want to move on to the next sexual attraction. We have to stop that. You must be attracted to your wife or husband, yes, but it must also be mental attraction, spiritual attraction as well. You can't just have physical attraction or it won't last. That's why we have so many baby mamas and baby dads these days. It's all physical. We got to get into the mental and spiritual of this thing. So that's what I would tell them. Don't be chasing nobody just because they fine or they pretty or they cute or whatever. That got to be there. You must be attracted to your wife or your husband. There's no doubt. But it must also be mental and physical connections as well. So that's the main key. If you don't do that, it won't work.
Miko, how being in a multiple wife relationship how has it changed you before you were in a multiple life relationship and after you got into a multiple life relationship? How has it changed you?
Okay, it's made me a better man. It's like empowered me. It gave me strength. It's given me strength to be more productive, to be a harder worker, to be a better father, husband, everything. It's like, okay, I have 2 wives now, so it's like on the inside I'm 2 men working on this one body. So it's giving me more power and strength and more, I just want to do more. I want to be more productive. I want to earn more. I want to give them more. I want to provide more for them. So it's like it's strengthening me like the Incredible Hulk. When David Banner he grow real big, that's how I feel. It's like I'm in. You can't stop me now. I got too much to do. I got too many people to take care of, so I can't be stopped. You know. But when you just go back to a monogamous relationship, you got your wife working, I'm working, you just lazy off. We just gonna make it, man. We good. She gonna make a check this week. I'm all right. But I'm doing this, so I can't stop. I can't slow down. I got to go get it. So it's giving me that more. It's giving me more vigor to just do what I have to do, and I feel great about it. I love it.
What do you think? You have 2 wives now. What do you think about, and tell us, if you have 2 wives now, what about 3, 4 wives? Are you saying that as building a family / community / nation, is that something in the future plans, or is that something that can be looked at also?
Of course. I mean, like I said, I'm speaking to another woman now. You know, she's a potential to be a wife. We're saying, do we have that mental connection? And this is you can't put a number on it. This is me speaking. You can't put a number on how I want 2 wives or 3 wives, 4 wives. No, it's whatever gonna make your family stronger and better for everybody. Everything has to mesh. All of us have to be in sync, spiritually and mentally. If I meet a woman like the one I'm talking to now, if I bond with her and vibe with her 100%, but one of my wives don't, she can't come in. That's just the bottom line, because that would not work in the future. It's gonna cause a rift in my family. And I don't need that. I need everybody on the same page 100% of the time. No discrepancies anywhere. So everybody has to mesh, you know, and that's the only way it will work. But the number is no number that you can put on it.
Well, Miko, Naja, and Daphne, in closing, what would you like to tell the audience? If it's in one voice, that's cool. But in closing, before I talked to Miko last week, this is something that I've heard about, and I've seen other groups, into it, but I've never spoken to about anybody in depth about it until today. So I want to thank you guys for sharing that with us. And in closing, is there anything you want to bring to close us down with?
This is Najla. I'd just like to say that this lifestyle that we live in America of individuality and independent woman, I think that's really what suffocates us as a nation of, so-called African Americans. And now that I'm in this marriage, I'm just blossoming. I'm blooming. On my own, I was trying to do those things, but I came into a group of very strong people, and I'm no longer trying to do things on my own. It's not necessary. It was not our original way of life. And so for any of people considering it, that would be a great benefit to no longer have to be on your own and make a stamp for yourself. You're out there in the world as a unit.
Well, Miko, Naja, Daphne, thank you very, very much for joining us. I've learned a lot, and I hope the listeners did too. You're listening to African Americans Ain't African Radio on the Black Talk Radio 1 network. And there you have it, folks. Polygamous relationship. What the brothers and sisters was talking about, if that was going on across America, I think we would be living better lives as people, especially for the children. And I think that one of the things that we pick up in America, especially the males, is I'm this rugged individual. I can do everything myself. You can't. So, I want to thank you guys for listening tonight. I hope you learned a lot. Please check us out on Facebook, African Americans Ain't African. Our website is AfricanAmericanAintAfrican.org. Drop me an email, and thank you guys for dropping all the emails. One thing I want to send a shout out to the people who send me the emails. I really appreciate you guys, and I appreciate the work you guys doing, because on hearing this information, you guys went out and just did more research, and the stuff that you're bringing back is awesome. And it's kind of like this show that we had tonight on polygamy. We got to stop looking at ourselves as just one person individual. We're a team. We're a group. We're a nation of people. And us thinking that we one person and me, mine, that's mine, gimme, that is ripping us apart. So until next week, this is what, Sunday, until Tuesday. We'll be back Tuesday with another edition of African Americans Ain't African. You guys have a wonderful, wonderful Sunday. Peace out.